zone in the Y chromosome that transforms the individual from being a female, which is a natural condition, into male, which is a different condition. There's one other peculiarity on this. Anybody see what that is?
21.
21, exactly. This is called a karyotype, and it's a karyotype of someone who has Down syndrome. There are 3 chromosomes here of 21. That is a person who, again, has Down syndrome. Any questions so far? This is, I know this is a review for many of you, just high school stuff, but let's do it anyway. This is the P map, the map for P's. There are 7 chromosomes that P's have, and just by luck, Father Mendel chose traits that were on, chose 1 trait per chromosome. So, well anyway, how does this whole thing work? So both parents contribute to the offspring. Each parent has 2 chromosomes. During the process of meiosis, sex cells are produced, which only have 1 chromosome each. So the ovum has 1 chromosome, and the sperm has 1 chromosome, and they come together at conception. The 2 chromosomes come together, plus the other chromosomes, of course, in the nucleus, and the individual is back to having 2 chromosomes just like the parent. But 1 of the pair is from the father, and 1 is from the mother. And this is part of the so-called miracle of sex, which is every generation is renewed differently. We keep reshuffling the genes. It's like a deck of cards. You just keep reshuffling the genes back and forth, and you get individuals who are unique. They are not wholly the father, not wholly the mother. They are both. Of course, if we didn't divide the cells up so that there was just 1 of the chromosomes, 1 of each of the chromosomes, then each generation would have double the number of chromosomes. So we have 23 pairs, and each generation would have 26 pairs. And anyway, eventually you just end up with, you'd have nothing but chromosomes in your body in about 5 or 6 generations, and that just didn't work. So, again, 1 from each parent of each chromosome. These are traits, but we can call these chromosomes as well, and the same thing works. Well, Mendel, in his paper, said that there were 2 basic laws. One of them was the law of segregation of traits, and that's what we talked about before. When you had tall and short, you ended up with medium in P's. You ended up with tall or short. Even though in the 2nd generation, all of the individuals were tall, all of the plants were tall, the short gene maintained its integrity. It didn't mix. It was segregated off from the tall. And so in the 3rd generation, it can reappear. The trait isn't lost or thrown away. Well, let's look at a couple definitions, and we can argue about what each one was. These are sort of quick and dirty ones. A gene is a genetic message coded. Let's just talk about structural genes. It's a genetic message coding for a trait at a specific locus or location on a chromosome. So genes are genetic messages coding for a trait at a specific locus or location on a chromosome. So you will always have the trait for phenylketonuria at one spot. You'll always have the trait for hemochromatosis at one spot, pretty much. Second, an allele is a version of that gene. We have 2 alleles that we talked about, white and red. Each one of those is a different allele. They are different versions of the same gene, just a very slight variation, so that one produces the red color and one produces the white color or nothing. Genotype is the genetic makeup of the individual. And we can talk about the genotype of the individual in terms of one locus or the whole genome. Now, some individuals can have two copies of the same allele. If they are alike, for instance, the parents up on top, they are homozygous. Homo means same, zygous meaning egg. Same egg, or same allele. Heterozygous would be the next generation, because the two parents, even though each was homozygous, each was homozygous for a different allele. And so all of the offspring are going to be heterozygous. Hetero means different. Different egg. Homozygous, same egg. Heterozygous, different egg. And so we look back on this diagram. The parents up on top are homozygous, but for different alleles. Because they are homozygous for different alleles, the offspring are all heterozygous. But when the heterozygous offspring mate, the reshuffling produces two homozygotes, one here and one here, and two heterozygotes. Okay. And on average, this is just an average sort of thing. Let's look at other definitions. Back to genotype. Genotype is the genetic makeup of the individual. For instance, you may have the gene for O blood type. That is the genotype. The fact that you can be tested and found to have O blood type is the next thing, and that is the phenotype. That is the manifestation. You may have the gene for brown eyes. That is the genotype. The brown eyes you have is the phenotype. It's what the gene produces. Is this too repetitive? You probably had this in high school 3 times or 4 times. Anyway, we'll just, yeah, you have. Sorry. Yeah. Dominant. The allele which manifests itself, whether homozygous or heterozygous, is called the dominant. The red is dominant in the example we gave. Recessive is the allele which only manifests itself when it is in a homozygous state. That would be the white. The white is recessive, because and that manifests itself only in the homozygous state. So the person has to have both alleles for white to appear in this diagram. Are we still, everybody okay? Am I going too fast? Okay. Let's do 1 or 2 more definitions. One of them is codominant. That is a state in which both alleles are manifested in the phenotype. And let's look at the ABO blood system, for instance. The abiosis, everybody knows what ABO system is. You may or may not know what your blood type is. It would be very useful if you did. And have it checked a couple of times. During World War II, 10% of the GIs were given the wrong blood type on their dog tags, which probably led to a number of deaths just by incompetence. I don't know why it was, but that's, we're trying to figure that out. At any rate, A is dominant, B is dominant, and therefore A and B are codominant. And O is recessive. O is the most common allele, but it is recessive. And let's look at why that is the case.